there are things that confuse me, and there are things that are peculiar to me. There are things that make me worry, and there are things that make me happy for no particular reason. And then there are things that I just wake up with, and that is um, like, like this glory, like I got this rhythm in me, you dig? And it just beats and beats. And behind it, it's everything that I was raised with, and it's everything that I've ever been a part of. Growing up in Brooklyn, growing up in Bedford-Stuyvesant, Brooklyn, growing up in a house of black women, of really, really strong black women, of forward and focused black women, of smart black women. And growing up in a space where I had to be the best. When you grow up in the projects, you can't be second. And when you are the only girl on the court, you certainly can't shoot like a girl, You have to be strong, and you have to be fearless. And I guess knowing that I don't walk this land alone helps me to overcome a lot of the obstacles that comes with my day. So a lot of my inspiration comes from knowing that I have work to do. Yeah.
I'm inspired by questions. I grew up a very inquisitive child. I always just asked the question, why? Why did I have to do something? And why things were the way they were? And I think the journalist in me is always propelled by the question why, to find out, why do we believe the things that we do? Why do we hold on to the values that we have? Why is society set up the way it is? And I think finding the answer to that question, or even finding the courage to ask the question why, is something that propels me every day.
Gosh, I get my inspiration from a lot of different places. I guess that's the artist way. I was walking down the street one day, and these little girls were playing double dutch, and I was gonna walk around them. And before I could stop to walk around, they stopped. And I said, "Excuse me," as I was passing through, and I didn't expect for them to stop or be nice or whatever, because you never know with kids. And these girls looked at me and they said, "Miss, you wanna jump?" So I was like, yeah. I put my bags down. The little girl was like, "Oh, watch your bag, it's cool." I got in, I jumped, and they're like, "Oh, snap, she can jump, she's good." And it was like the greatest little time ever. And when I was done, I offered to turn, because that's just the rules. You got to turn so if you're going to get a jump. And they told me it was cool, and I said thanks, and they're like, "We love your hair, it's so nice." I told them thank you. And I was so shocked because, as I was saying earlier, I think that now a lot of us women, black women especially, we've lost the essence of sisterhood, of not knowing someone at all and just feeling like you're going to offer them a jump. You can kick it with me, it's cool. And then they offered a compliment. That was crazy. And, we learned to hate each other at earlier and earlier ages, and the cycle is vicious until someone turns you on to not being a hater or not being negative, or whatever the case may be. And that was inspiring to me, to make sure that I don't leave my focus on youth out of what I do. So, because I dance and I also do communications and I work with young people, I always find that there's a way to bridge all of that together. And that is inspiring for me, to not feel like, I can be all wrapped up in myself. I can always share what I do. They're interested. I know children are always watching you. So that's inspirational, to know that you don't necessarily have to give up hope because you just decide that everybody is one way. There's still a lot of people that are positive and hopeful and kind, and they'll speak to you when you walk past their house. And that was eye-opening. Yeah.
Wow. What inspires me? I think when I see other people doing really well, that look like me, that really inspires me big time. When people can be passionate and also compassionate, even within great challenges or turmoil and struggles, and still overcome and triumph, that totally inspires me. When people give of themselves, but not so much that they're, abusing themselves or not, feeding themselves, but really can do things for a collective, whether it be a community, an organization, etc., and do it with that same passion and compassion, that's inspiring for me. Yeah.
I think just like those little successes and glimmers of hope, like for shit to be different. Every time there's kind of like, because the world beats us down constantly, but every time there's sort of like a peak or a good moment or something like that, it kind of inspires me to keep going. So that could be like, I remember an experience I had where I was getting my passport, and the woman at the post office was like the mother of a young, like 22-year-old lesbian that went to school somewhere, and was like, wait, I know you, you're from Brooklyn Boyhood, and I talked to my daughter about this and that, and I'm just like, damn, like people's parents are fucking with it. Everybody says that black parents are always homophobic, but they can be really accepting. So like when things like that happen, it just kind of, keeps me going. When the day after somebody might call you some fucked up shit in the street, like you just need those little successes to like kind of keep you going. So that's typically what inspired me.